Nicole, I would like to call the meeting to order. And I would like to, before we start, recognize Veterans Day and thank all the veterans for their service and for protecting our freedom. And I'm glad that we can honor them this day. So with that, can you start with the roll call, Nicole?
Mr. Blair?
Here.
Mrs. Grosh?
Here.
Mrs. Gutierrez?
Here.
Mr. Hald?
Present.
Ms. Morales?
Here.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any other additional agenda items that we need to discuss that anyone has? I have one additional item in open discussion, and that's to establish a management succession committee, and we can get to that during open discussion. Are there any other additional items? No. Okay. I am going to pause because we might, there's somebody signing in. So we'll just hold tight. We have a visitor, and it looks like we have a public comment. And so comments made by members of the public shall be made only during the public comment section, which is going to happen, and portion of the meeting, and shall be limited to 3 minutes per individual and 5 minutes per group spokesperson, unless additional opportunity is given at the board's discretion. Each member of the public wishing to speak will need to have signed in and mark the box indicating they wish to address the board. I believe you would like to, and Cynthia Vitelli, would you like to address the board? Thank you.
To the step there. Sorry. I didn't really plan on this, so I'm not really organized, but I just wanted to talk about, I live close to Clear Lake Park, which there's not a whole lot of investment in there, and it doesn't need to be. It's a sweet little park. But the problem I have is that when I try and communicate with the people who manage the park, no one answers, no one responds. I did talk to Yvonne at one point, but it didn't really bring a lot of happening. And so really my thing is that I don't feel like there's enough communication available to the public. And then I would like some trees in that park. All we have now is cottonwood trees, and they're old, and so they're probably not going to, they're dangerous for one thing. A lot of branches are just waiting to fall off. But then if we could have some newer trees other than cottonwood, and not linden, only because they're too small. And that's my story.
What is your preference for trees?
Well, I've thought about that, and really I love elm trees, but that's sort of a disaster. Oak trees, but oak trees are really messy, but they're big and they create a lot of shade. And so I guess Kentucky coffee tree, I think, is another good one that gets big and creates a lot of shade.
So it sounds like you prefer the bigger, taller trees that live forever, almost?
Yes, the almost part, but yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do. Yeah. The smaller trees don't create enough shade, and so then you have to have either more trees or just more trees.
Now, my linden tree in the backyard is at least 40 feet tall.
Yeah, but how wide is it?
It's pretty wide,
Is it? Well,
but they're all different.
yeah, and my experience anyway is that they don't get as wide as the oak or the Kentucky coffee or.
They're
like
pretty
that.
messy too. The linden trees
No,
are
I
kind
know,
of
but
messy.
another thing about them is that if they're not watered or fed correctly, the edges of the leaves will brown early in the season, which makes them not as attractive too.
Right.
On the park itself, in the communications report, what are the types of things you're asking to be addressed or?
When I've called in, just this conversation, I just wanted to talk to somebody. My dog and I were out there a month or so ago, and she discovered electrical pole that was 2/3 rotted out. And I didn't know who to call. And when I called the numbers for here, nobody answers, so I just decided to call Excel, which is probably who I should have called, but as a citizen, I don't know that. So that's just an example of an issue. Mostly, I just want to, talk about the trees. It's a sweet little park. It doesn't need a lot. Just some trees would make it nice. And
I have a question. It's Clear Creek,
no,
Clear Lake,
Clear Lake. Yeah, it's a
Clear
much-
Lake Park?
Yeah, it's over by 80th ends into it, and Vallejo is the first
Okay.
cross street from it.
I just wanted to make sure I understood what park you were
Yeah, Clear
referencing.
Lake is much larger, much more sophisticated. Clear Creek is just a little park with some grass in it.
I will say the board does get correspondence from the public, so that's always an avenue as well.
And by email?
So, thank you for your,
On our website, we also have a place where you can send in a question or a comment.
And
On the Highland Hills
I
website.
probably just called. When John Dunn was there, he would respond, and so I felt like I had a person. And I can try and do that, because I can try and do that.
well, thank you for your comments and letting us know. It is appreciated. It's nice to have a visitor, so thank you.
Well, thank you.
That's public comment that we've had. Now, are there any introductions or presentations? There aren't any. Then with that, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the treasurer's report.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District approve the September 2025 Treasurer's Report as presented.
What discussion do we have regarding this?
Comments from staff, please? That's right.
You can look over here now. So you will notice we did give you a revised treasurer's report, so I just wanted to point out that the correction that was made there was for the booking of the tax revenue that was omitted in the first version that you have. So what you have there is a complete version reflecting those tax receipts for September.
Again, with this warm weather, Alan, golf course, outdoor recreation facilities at full capacity right now?
Yeah, definitely strong numbers in October, well, September too. We expect that's actually trending that way even in November, so.
Yeah, overall, I mean, you can see from the report, we're trending to a really good year for the district. And with the way the fall has been unbelievably warm, we'll continue to have good business at the golf course. Adventure Golf just opened up the holiday lights this last weekend. So we expect to have a plenty busy fall and again, an excellent year for the district.
Good, thank you.
Are we ready for a vote? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passes. I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the board meeting minutes.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District approve the minutes of the 2026 budget presentation, study session, and board meeting of October 14th, 2025 as written.
A second?
What discussion do we have about this motion? Hearing none.
Oh, hold on. I have a question under number 6. I think it's just a typo, or maybe I just didn't quite hear it right, but it says comparison of golf course 2024 actuals compared to 2025 actuals revealed there is a difference of $25. So I'm just thinking that's a typo?
Yeah, I made that comment. We were talking about the treasurer's report. I just thought it was interesting to highlight how well the budgeting was year over year. Very close, $25 between 2 years in the same time frame is
So
pretty
25
amazing.
is accurate.
Yes.
All right, good job.
Luck.
What other discussion items do we have? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Yvonne, I'm not seeing any communication or correspondence to the board, is that correct?
That's correct.
The only thing I'd like to mention and give thanks for is the board received an email from a patron of Waterworld, and Kelly Flowers gave a very nice response. He was not happy that Calypso Cove was going away, and it's very nostalgic, and we all loved it. And I think what we're replacing it with will be just as exceptional as Calypso Cove. And so, Bob, I don't know if there's anything that you would want to add as to how fabulous our new plans are right now and how they're.
Yeah, I think you've said it very well, so thank you. We are very excited for the project coming up, and we absolutely feel that this will be an enhancement and a variety of great new experiences for our guests here at Waterworld. It's hard to say goodbye to the old stuff sometimes, but we're excited about what's coming.
Yes, and Kelly did a fabulous job in her response, so really appreciate that.
Margaret, there's one other piece, is the board did receive an email today in regards to an agenda item, and those are ones that we do talk about, is if there's some question about an agenda item, then we do mention that there was an email about an agenda item board email, and we've talked about that, and we're ready to move forward.
Yes.
And it came so late, it's really hard to talk about it right now.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing that up, Warren. I haven't read the email, so I didn't add it to my notes. So it came so late in the day that I am not prepared to speak to that.
What's important is staff has evaluated that email and the facts in it and so on. So
Yes, staff
That's the
is-
most important thing.
Yes. Any other communication or correspondence to the board? Moving on, Executive Director update. Would you like to give us an update, Yvonne?
Certainly. So you all have the report for the month. I think it's very timely that you came to our meeting tonight because part of my report is to let the board know that we've been notified that our grant applications through Adams County Open Space have preliminary approval on it. And one of those grants is for Clear Lake Park. So we will be very mindful of the trees when we go to execute that park, but I know that the playground is getting replaced and we're looking at some other enhancements there. So thank you for coming. Know that we are addressing the park, and certainly, like you said, excuse me, I hope you didn't have John Dunn's cell phone number because John did retire and maybe that's why you're not getting a response?
No, I've called the main number.
Okay. Okay, well, we'll try to figure that out, but as the board stated out, that we do have, all of their emails are on the website, as well as mine, as well as the general information, so please reach out anytime. But yeah, we'll look forward to bringing you some enhancements, and I know that the Kentucky coffee trees are one of our trees of choice as well, so that's good to hear that that's what you'd like to see over there. So yeah,
Yvonne, can I just add in that we do, when we look at trees, we use the Colorado State University guidelines for which trees are best to plant in the metro area. And so I know that we're excited about Clear Lake Park, and we'll follow all those recommendations from the tree experts.
So beyond that, we had another great event at Adventure Golf and Raceway for the annual Halloween Spooktacular. About 1,100 guests with the kids and the adults there. We did switch to a basically free event this year, and we were able to do that partially with the support from the Highland Hills Foundation. So again, just a lovely event. The guests have a great time. Our staff has a great time helping and volunteering with that, and we're very happy to have that for another year. And then otherwise, I'm just happy to answer any other questions that you all have of the report that you were provided.
I do have a question. When will we see the 10-year capital plan?
At the December meeting.
In the December meeting?
Yes.
Got it, okay.
I thought the Spooktacular was spooktacular. My little grandbaby loved it. She had a great time, and I went as a board member. That was my costume.
Any other questions from the board for Yvonne? Okay, hearing none, moving on. The KPI report, would staff like to give us any updates or any on the KPI report?
Sure. I would just draw your attention to a couple of things. First, full-time employee total. We are fully staffed. In the month of October, you can see we had quite a bit of turnover from last year at this time, so we're pleased to be fully staffed at this moment. I also wanted to highlight youth program registrations. We opened up registration for basketball, so we've had a pretty good response so far. Registrations will be open for a couple more weeks, so we anticipate a great, successful program of our basketball at the Sports Center. Happy to take any other questions if you have them.
That is a significant, the youth number did jump, which is nice to see. Any other questions or comments from the board? Hearing none, moving on to the next one. Bob, would you like to give us an update on the Water World project dashboard and where we sit with that? And I do want to make a comment and that the weather has been nice, so we're hopeful that that has kept us on schedule.
Agreed. We are very hopeful for the same thing, and so far we are benefiting from the nice dry weather so far this fall. So as your tracker reflects, we are on the dashboard there, we are moving along. We are hitting key milestones and on our targeted schedules. We are tracking a potential issue, and we'll keep you informed on that as that moves along. It's a little early to understand the full impact of that. Our hope is that that will come together and have a small impact to the schedule. Otherwise, demolition and other activities are tracking as scheduled.
Great, thank you. What questions does the board have of Bob? Hearing no questions, moving to the next item is the quarterly reports. So Yvonne, if you would please let staff know that we all appreciate the effort that they put into the quarterly reports. Much appreciated. What other comments or questions does the board have?
I was very impressed with the entire report. The silver sneakers piece with Linda Jones, I think it'd be nice if the board recognized her with a card from us. I can get that for the next time unless something is up for, from the district. But she's been such a great teacher and dedicated leader and always continues with her Silver Sneakers classes. I just think it'd be nice to get her a card.
Warren, I agree with your comments wholeheartedly. Linda Jones has done a fabulous job and has really given extra effort and time to the community and deserves to be recognized. I don't know how does, we could work with the district to arrange something, Yvonne? Great, thank you.
Do you want me to just bring a card for the next meeting, or that we can all sign, or?
I think we have cards.
I forgot to bring it tonight.
No, that's okay. We'll get one. We got that stuff handled.
Okay.
So we'll have it ready for you guys to sign at the next meeting.
Yeah, I think that's all we need to do, and then I'd be happy to present it to her. I'm over there and I run into her quite often.
Hey, on the last page of the report, under park rangers, is that a picture of a turtle he's holding?
Look, the star is right there in the corner.
He's looking at his phone.
Yeah, Corey, would you like to?
Mike, that turtle was on the railroad tracks and this gentleman saved him.
Yeah?
Thank you for saving the turtles.
There's one over in Cambridge you don't want to take though. Yeah, we sure love to take.
Wow.
There used to be one that big on hole 16 in the lake there that you would see every so often. I haven't seen him in years, Alan.
You know, all kidding aside, these park rangers, Corey and Eddie, both have just been a tremendous addition to the staff. What they're doing out in the parks is wonderful work, interacting with the community, but that is not an easy job. They also have to deal with the unpleasant sides of things that happen in parks when people are not looking, maybe is the best way to put it. So we really appreciate everything you guys have done so far and are super excited about how successful the program's been.
And if you do ever see Corey out at Clear Lake Park, say hi to him. Introduce yourself and say hi to him.
I was business here today. She met me this morning.
Oh,
There we
nice.
go. See, there's the
Yeah.
connection.
Thank you,
And
Corey.
he has phone numbers you can call right away.
What other comments or questions does the board have regarding the quarterly reports? Okay, hearing none, moving to the next item. The legal report. Ellison, would you like to give us anything, update?
Sure, there is a legal report in your board packet, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the board has.
I just want to say thank you for the information that you gave us during study session with regard to the use restrictions and how we're going to go forward, or how to go forward with that. And so thank you and for that guidance. Much appreciated.
Sure thing.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Hearing none. We have no old business, so we're going to move on to new business. I'm looking for a motion for the administration building renovation project.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District award the bid to Novus Construction in the amount of $401,173.42 for renovations to the administration building and authorize the executive director to execute the contract on behalf of the district.
I second.
Does staff want to give us an update as to the bidding process and the contracting process?
Sure. Yeah, for your consideration is approval of this contract. The project will update this building, the administration building. We're very excited about it. We'll have a new main entrance to the building with a vestibule and controlled access to the rest of the building. We'll update both sets of bathrooms upstairs and downstairs for ADA access, as well as cosmetic improvements to the bathrooms. And then we'll add a conference room upstairs and additional office spaces. So we're very excited to have this project done. It's phase 2 of updates to the building. So we worked with an architect to facilitate this process. We put the bid documents on BidNet and publicly bid the project. We had a walkthrough, and we received bids back on November 5th. We followed all standard procurement procedures for construction projects that are pretty typical of our processes. This was a public bid. We received 12 bids back. We considered a number of factors when determining who to recommend to the board for this contract. Among those were construction timeline, experience working with government agencies, quality of their proposal, as well as pricing. Given this criteria, we determined to move forward with Novus Construction. Every information that we reviewed checked out, and we look forward to working with Novus. Happy to take any questions.
On the 400,000, again, we follow accrual accounting, so how much of the 4,000 will be spent in the last 8 weeks, 7 weeks of 25 versus 26? Because the capital will go out in 2 different years.
Yeah, we kind of mapped it out, I think, Mike, with 250 in 25 and 150 in 26. What we'll do is whatever we spent in 25, we'll carry that as construction in progress on the balance sheet until we finish the project in 26, and then it'll go in as an asset at the end of 26. And I'll make one other note too. These areas that we're going to hit with construction are the original 1988 areas, flooring, restrooms, all of it. So we've got our money's worth out of that first batch from 1988 and ready for 2025 look.
So again, CIP will hit for 250,000 this year, the other 150 in 2026.
Correct.
And then full capitalization out of CIP.
In 2026, yep.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What other questions or comments does the board have? Not hearing any other questions or discussion. All those in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. I'm looking for a motion for the ice center replacement flooring.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District approve the purchase not to exceed $300,000 with Mondo for rubberized flooring materials for the flooring replacement project at the Ice Center at the Promenade, and authorize the Executive Director to execute the contract on behalf of the district.
I second.
What discussion does the board have regarding this motion?
Same cash flow question on the 300 grand. 26 versus 25.
Sorry, the capital question will be the same answer, that we'll bring the flooring materials in 25, it'll go on construction in progress, and then in 26, once the floor is installed, that's when it'll be capitalized. And
Is it
Bob,
300,000 part materials and labor?
300,000 is just the materials.
Okay, that's, okay.
Yeah, and Bob's happy to talk about the project as a whole.
Absolutely. I also have Corey here this evening as well for any detailed questions we may have. This is replacing the rubberized, I would call it specialty flooring, in the lower level in the public areas of the rink, from that whole lower level from one end to the other. We are currently on the second reiteration of that flooring, and we are starting to see it bubble and fail. Our staff has worked diligently to keep that in place, but the time is approaching to replace it, and we are replacing it back with what we believe to be a higher quality product, which was installed in the facility when it opened originally. So we feel like our goal is to get a little more life out of that. But this will be the materials, and then in 2026, we are budgeting for the install, water, moisture control, and the other pieces of this that need to happen.
So Bob, am I to understand that the rubberized flooring that's in there now is the original rubberized flooring? Oh,
No, it was replaced in 2017, 10 years ago. So it has been replaced. It takes a lot of abuse down there, people walking around with skates and such.
so the average life of it's about 10 years, or?
So the product that we bought the last time we went, considered it, and it has a 10-year shelf life. What was originally in there and what we're going with now has like a 15-year life. So it's a better product, but you pay for it.
You get what you pay for, is what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And we went cheap because we were on a budget last time, so we went cheaper. And we got 10 years out of it though, and that's what they said we would get.
So Corey, how excited are you about this new rubberized mat surface?
Not at all.
Didn't think so.
I mean, once it's in, I'll be excited, but getting to it, and it's just people don't love the inconvenience of getting there.
How long does it take to install that? Like, do you close down the facility, or?
No, we do it, and we just rearrange where you access certain points, but it takes about a month.
Got it, okay. Well, thank you guys for all that information, and this is just for the product that we're
Correct,
buying. Got
for
it,
the
okay.
materials.
Materials.
One final question. Is it a US product or is it a foreign product subject to tariff?
It's a US product, because the guy that I've been talking to, we wanted to get it without tariffs,
Uh-huh.
so it would be more cost effective. So it's coming out of Colorado, actually.
Oh.
Even better?
Yeah,
Yes, okay. Thank you.
absolutely. Thank you.
All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is the budget hearing. And I'm not quite certain how to do this operationally, but I would like to open the budget hearing. And I would do so and ask Director of Finance, Jill Lamoureux, for an overview of the proposed budget.
Good evening. So the last time we met, we presented our draft budget to you, and tonight you'll find the final version in your packets, including a memo that summarizes the changes that were made from that first version. So in alignment with our commitment to fiscal responsibility, the 2026 budget is grounded in historical performance and current trends. It's balanced, it's conservative, and fiscally sound. Our reserve policy requires we maintain 50% of our annual operating expenditures in reserves that will be maintained. Any surplus funds are used on a pay-as-we-go basis for capital improvements, including approximately $5 million allocated to the Waterworld project, which will reduce our need in the bond issue. These practices help us minimize the amount of debt we'll need to issue and allows us to maintain a very enviable debt service coverage ratio. Your budget packet also includes the capital budget, which has been shaped by the strategic plan and recommendations of the Capital Committee. We're especially grateful to Adams County for their open space grant program. We are able to maximize the impact of these grants by pledging our mill levy revenue to support them. And as you know, the mill levy represents a very small portion of our overall income, so that ability to maximize that spending is much appreciated. And it's usually dedicated to grant-funded initiatives, parks, community events, and youth programs, such as the Spooktacular, which was free this year due to some of that funding. Our enterprise operations generate about 75% of our revenue, enabling us to significantly expand the services we offer to the community. Both the operating and capital budgets were guided by the strategic plan, and in response to community feedback, you'll notice a strong emphasis on asset preservation and maintenance in this year's capital budget. I wanted to thank you all for the time you've put into this and continue to put into this, and we're happy to take any questions you have.
Jill, I want to tell you, thank you for that excellent summary.
Sure.
It highlighted all of what is important to the board and the fiscal discipline that the district shows. I appreciate a great deal, and I'm very grateful for the net profit that the enterprise funds generates, because it keeps all of our property taxes lower and we get more benefit. So what you guys have done for the budgeting and making sure that we're preserving our assets, I greatly appreciate.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the board? Are there any public comments? Not hearing any public comments. We're going to close the budget hearing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Whoops. Moving on to our next item, it's the Board of Directors committees. We will get updates from these committees. Is there an update for the Bylaws and Policies Committee update?
No, not at this time.
Thank you. Warren or Mike, could you give us a Capital Project Committee update? I think if I remember from the last board meeting, you guys met on October 21st.
That's correct. Mike, did you want to do this one? I've got my notes, or I can do it. It's
You do that one, because I'll do the Finance Committee. please.
okay, perfect. So on October 21st, the Capital Improvement Committee met. I believe most of the board is up to date on many of these things. They're in a variety of different reports that we've seen. They've been in the budget packet. They've been in the executive director's update. So we've got the disc golf bridge is getting ready to be set. We've got the Clear Creek Valley Bike Park is still, we've got some construction documents that have been submitted. Mid-December, we'll get some more information. Sports Complex Phase 2. Core elements are completed. We're looking at lighting, restroom concession. You've heard that before. Carol Butts Phase 1. The coating on the concrete is not going to happen. That was in another report. We missed the window of the nice weather. Even though it's been really nice, it's not nice enough to put the coating on the concrete on the pickleball. So we'll wait for that. That was covered in another area. Kamenish, the cement trail is in. The pads for benches. We're looking at the GoCo grant cycle for that.
I have a question on that, Warren. Are the goats, when, do we have the goat
Yeah,
grant?
that's coming. Hold on.
Okay, okay.
The golf driving range, it starts with a well. Stay updated. Driving range bridge, we're looking for when the canal is dry. It's pretty full right now. Golf course blue, we're getting 70% of the dirt from Waterworld. We're getting more dirt, so that's all in process. 7 and 2 green, 3 and 8 tee. Maybe open by Memorial Day, we're hoping. We've got our update on the Calypso Cove. Commissioners Park, we received an update. Rotary Park, we're looking at the smaller basketball, looking at adding shade. That's still on our list. Fitness Center with the pickleball and sand volleyball, we put in a grant for that. And we have a fall grant cycle that just went through, and one of those is for the goats, Margaret. So that's a mini grant, and we hope to be funded for that. Stay tuned. But we did get some for Clear Lake Park. And also for Sherrillwood, that's in the cycle, and we were able to get those. So some of those are updated.
And the goats, I believe, will be here in the spring.
Great.
We will make sure that you all know when
And
they're
maybe
coming.
Linda Jones can do goat yoga With those goats, oh, those are different goats.
Different goats.
Those would be recreational goats. These will be parks goats.
Are there any other questions or comments for Warren on the Capital Committee? Thank you for that comprehensive review.
You're welcome.
Mike Holt, would you like to give us an update on the Finance Committee?
Yes, the Finance Committee will be meeting with potential firms to assist the district with the 2026 revenue bonds, either later this month or in early December.
Actually, we'll talk to the two of you about confirming those dates, but yeah, we may be bring in two in November and two in December, so I want to confirm that with you upstairs.
And being the accountant that I am, on the summary cash flow statement in the budget proposal, there's a number that doesn't cross-foot correctly on cash received under the 7713-200 under governmental, then there's nothing under enterprise. Somehow a different number ended up in the total, so if you could take a look at that and fix that. I was eyeballing this like, this doesn't add up. So Danny let me borrow her calculator.
Yeah, and I think there were a couple of other items in the back, so if you could just double check it and then send out a final, that would be much appreciated.
Yeah, I might mention to the board, so we did give you a number of changes tonight, so if you have time in the next few weeks to go over that, this is the draft version still. We don't expect other changes to come in unless things pop up like this. The final version will have a slight adjustment depending on what the final assessed valuation from Adams County is. So we will get that out to you as soon as we get that, but the budget will not be adopted until December. So there's still some times if we find some things that need to be tweaked, we can get that done before the December adoption.
Great.
Skylar knows how much I love the cash flow statement.
Yes. And then a lease committee update?
We are going to be meeting in an executive session, and we'll have an update at the next board meeting.
Great, thank you. We'll wait for that. Moving to our next item, it's the Board of Directors open discussion. And we have one item we have three items, but the first item is to establish a management succession committee to start developing processes and criteria for a management succession plan. And so I'm going to pass this over to Lori so that she can give an overview, and then we can vote, or do we vote to establish that, or just inform? Inform. So Lori, if you'd want to give us a summary.
At our last budget meeting, we decided that we would have a committee of two with an alternate, two board members that would be on this committee for the succession. And we decided that it would probably be best for the people that had more tenure on the board, that we had a little bit more time, which would be Mike, Danny, and myself, and that we would have two people that would meet, and then that would be me and Mike, and then Danny would be an alternate in case one of us could not be present. And so this committee's it's just a facilitation for the management succession. Nothing is going to be decided, but we just will have two people that will bring it back to the board, and we'll make decisions and keep everybody abreast of what's going on.
Great, thank you. So we're establishing a new board committee, and it's the Management Succession Committee. And on that committee will be Lori Morales, and she's the chair, and Mike will be the other committee member, and they will be meeting shortly to start the work of the Management Succession Committee, and will provide us monthly updates. And so we will include that as a committee update going forward. Any comments or questions from the board on that open item, that open discussion item? The other one is the Highland Hills Foundation, and a quick update on that is this Thursday is the Winterfest Foundation dinner, and it's a fundraising dinner where we are trying to raise funds so that we can provide more scholarships to families who might have financial challenges to sign their kids up into classes that they can use those funds. And so hopefully everybody can attend. It's a wonderful event. It's going to be a gourmet dinner at the Cottonwood Lodge. Starting at 5:30, we will have holiday bingo, silent auction items, and a festive time. So hopefully you guys can join us. Is there any other updates, Lori or Warren, that you'd like to give on the foundation?
Yeah, at our last foundation meeting in October, Yvonne and I volunteered, or were we voluntold, to update the bylaws and get rid of the transition period. So Yvonne and I did meet, and we talked about who should best represent the Big Five. And that's going to be Margaret and Lori. And then Warren is going to move back into a general foundation membership piece to the foundation. So you were a general member, now you've moved up to you represent the board now. So you and Margaret will represent the board, and I'll just be a general public member, and I'm certainly fine with that. And so we will present those changes in January, and we will vote on ending the transition period of the board members' guidelines or qualifications.
Great, thank you for that update. The other one is the Westminster Rotary Club update. I don't have any updates. Do you have any updates, Warren?
Just the Rotary Club really appreciated Highland Hills helping support the Rotary Roast of Nancy McNally and how important that was. And there were a lot of Rotarians there at that evening event. And there were also several Highland Hills folks. And so they very much appreciated the Highland Hills support. And I also want to thank the board for recommending that support from Highland Hills to the Rotary Roast of Nancy McNally. I think it was a good public service for us to do for our mayor.
Great, thank you. I think so too. Are there any other open discussion items for the board?
Well, I have one. I had somebody approach me, and this is more for Alan. They wanted to know, like, after the last tee time at the golf course, mainly on the golf course, I know that you have to have a certain amount of time, but they were suggesting we offer like a take two. You charge so much for 2 holes of golf, the 1 and 2. You walk it with your cart, and then you get a drink ticket and could maybe put some people on the course after your last tee time goes out, and then that heads them into the restaurant.
Oh, well, that sounds like a pretty cool marketing idea. We actually have a pay-for-what-you-play program. So if that's on the website, or the Pro Shop staff knows that, you pay a lower fee, it's like a twilight fee, and you come into the Pro Shop and they give you a rain check for any holes you didn't finish. So they could play 5 holes or 1 hole. A lot of people play 9 holes and come in and get the rain check, things like that. So there is and that's on the golf course only. So if they're a blue course player, that wouldn't be available. But I could certainly take that concept up with staff, because heck, if it gets them into Cottonwood, that's a good thing, right? So, thank you, Lori.
Thanks, Alan.
Thank you, Lori. Any other items? I think we're ready for the board meeting recap. The only action item I have is the Linda Jones recognition. Is that, what other?
To review the budget and be ready for the December meeting. To take a look through it.
board
For us, for our board members, yes.
Yeah, and that, okay, yes, so that's not a staff action item, that's a board member action item.
Don't think that matters, whether it's board or staff, but it's an action item.
Hear that, guys? Review the budget. Okay, with that, we have, I'm looking for a motion. I'm actually looking for two motions. And Ellison, I'm looking for you. Can we vote on both motions now and meet simultaneously? Okay. Yes, there's has to be two individual motions for each. Okay. So.
Let's start out on the first one.
Okay, if you, let's do that. So I'm looking for a motion.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District meet in executive session pursuant to sections 24-6-402, 4B, and 4E CRS to discuss the splashland lease at 3365 West 67th Avenue, Adams County, Colorado, and for the conference with the district's legal counsel to receive legal advice on specific legal questions and determine positions related to matters that may be subject to negotiations, developing strategy for negotiations, and instructing negotiators regarding the splashland lease.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm looking for another motion for executive session.
I move that the Board of Directors of Highland Hills Park and Recreation District meet in executive session pursuant to Section 24-6-402 4B CRS for the purpose of a conference with the district's legal counsel regarding specific legal questions pertaining to Highland Hills Park and Recreation District, a Colorado quasi-municipal corporation and political subdivision of the state of Colorado versus Sandbagger Incorporated, DBA Chancho's, a Colorado corporation, Donald C. Chancho II as director, and Donna Charbonnier as director, and matters related thereto.
All those in favor of the first motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All those in favor of the second executive session motion say aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, I move that we go upstairs for executive session.